Have you been dreaming of living abroad? Well, in this video, I shall be explaining what an expat is. Expat is the short form for expatriate, and the meaning of this is someone who lives outside of their home country for an extended period of time. This can be for different reasons, from work assignments to retirement to just wanting new adventures. People move from their home countries for different reasons that they choose to. Just like myself, how I originally moved from Canada to the US to pursue my career and education. It is also important to note that expat is different from immigrant. Expats often have a temporary mindset and ties to their home countries, while immigrants, of course, are moving from one country to another in ties to just totally relocate there for long term. What are the types of expats? The first one is corporate expat. This is someone who's moving somewhere for work or to progress their professional careers. There are lots of companies out there that have locations worldwide and might need your help or might need your services in a different location. So people are just moving all over and then they do that. The next type of expat are entrepreneurs. These are people who usually start businesses abroad because of the different benefits that they might see, such as cheaper labor, more profitable, among other reasons. The next type of expats are usually retirees. These are people that are done working and probably just bored from living in one place and want new adventures, and so deciding to move to a place that's cheaper, for instance, more affordable, just new experiences. You find a lot of these people, for instance, from Canada or the US, moving down south to Mexico or the South American countries, or even in Southeast Asia. And the last type of expat, this one is very, it's a mix and match, would be digital nomads. Digital nomads just require a laptop and they just want to move around and just explore everywhere while also working on their computers, are technically considered expats as well. So those words can be interchangeable. What are the benefits of being an expat? The first one, especially for people moving for work, is career growth and international experience. These are always something that people love. So for instance, me as a Canadian, I worked in the US. If I come back to Canada to work as an engineer, my experiences are like wow to them. It's a lot easier for me to be able to get jobs and to be able to have more opportunities while coming back home here in Canada. Another benefit is the cultural immersion and the personal growth that you will actually get. It's such a great thing to be able to just move and just go somewhere other side of the world or wherever it is that you go and just figure out things. You learn so much about the culture, about yourself. You actually grow so much in ways that you never thought you could have actually imagined. Another benefit is the travel opportunities and exploring new places. There's nothing better than just getting to see the world from a different lens out rather than from media, whatever media is saying. Just like how for me, I lived in Mexico. It was such a great country for me. I lived there for 3+ years, a country that's dear to my heart, and I still hope that I can live there sometime soon in the future. And one more benefit for you is cost of living might actually just be so much cheaper when living abroad than compared to say living in Canada or in the States, for instance. So now, what are the challenges of being an expat? The first one really is culture shock. There's always going to be culture shock. It doesn't matter where you move to. Even say from Canada to the US, there's going to be culture shock. It just might not be as woof, but there is always a little bit of a culture shock. For instance, coming from Canada or from the States to Mexico, of course there's culture shock, but for me maybe not as much since I lived in Nigeria growing up, so there was a lot of similarities there. However, there's always going to be hard times with culture shock. It just gets you. Another thing is missing family and friends. This one is a really big one because you end up missing a lot of your family events, a lot of your friends. You start, especially with these days of social media, people are doing stuff together and you're not there. You start feeling bad. Like for instance, I've had family trips that I've missed and you just feel bad. Like one of the Christmases, they were having a party and I wasn't there. I had other people sleeping in my bedroom. Just feel really sad and bad for missing some of these events that you wish you could have been there. But you know what? That's the life that you choose, right? So you just have to weigh out your options. Another difficulty or challenge is language barrier. Depending on what country you move to, it might be difficult to learn the new language. For instance, I moved to Indonesia. Indonesia is very different from all the different languages that I speak. So I had to make a very big effort to learn the language, to learn Bahasa. so that I could be able to assimilate and so I could be able to relate to the locals and people of Indonesia. And one big one is visa requirements and navigating legalities. It can be quite tricky depending on how long you're planning on staying, because not all countries, for instance, offer digital nomad visas, amongst other things. So it all depends on your situation. Everyone's situation is very different. Weigh out all your different options and try to see what visa option might work best for your situation. Some countries are starting to have digital nomad visas, among other things, or retiree visas. You might not have any issues, but there are some countries that are not really up to that part yet, so you're gonna have to do some research. So in summary, an expat is someone that just moves from their hometown and lives somewhere else, either for a short time or long time. There are different types of expat. There's also pros and cons to being an expat. So for you personally, you just have to weigh out what are the options. Are the pros worth it more than the cons? Or is it just something that you just want to just do just so you could get it out of you? Maybe you might like this lifestyle, maybe you might not like this lifestyle. Better to try it now than never ever trying it. If you're thinking of starting your expat journey, you've come to the right spot. Just make sure to click on the like and subscribe button, and I will be dropping out some more gems. And if you have any questions, drop them down below. Send me an email at hi@yinkz.com, or check out this next video here, which will be talking about the pros and cons of being an expat. Thank you so much for watching and staying till the end. Don't forget that you can make a difference in this world. Be a light. Till next time, guys. Peace out. Psh.